The Epstein dam finally cracks wide open. Today's date is November 25, 2025. Oh, honey, grab your popcorn and a stiff drink because I'm about to spill the tea on this absolute clusterfuck that's unfolding right now with the Epstein files, where that slimy orange tyrant is suddenly playing the hero, demanding the full dump of all those sealed grand jury secrets, like he's some crusader for truth, instead of the dodgy bastard who's been dodging his own ties to that pedo island paradise for years on end. I mean, can you believe the balls on this guy, sitting there in the White House like he owns the place? Signing off on some bullshit, Epstein Files Transparency Act last week, and then sixing his lapdog Attorney General Pam Bondi on the courts to pry open those dusty old transcripts from the investigations into Jeffrey Epstein and his skeevy sidekick Ghislaine Maxwell. All while the rest of us are screaming into the void about how this reeks of a desperate deflection, because deep down we all know the orange tyrant was chummy as hell with Epstein back in the day, partying on yachts and rubbing elbows with the elite scum who thought they could traffic kids like they were ordering takeout. Ha. It's fucking rich, isn't it? Watching him flip from denying any wrongdoing to yelling for every last scrap of paper to be blasted into the sunlight, as if that's going to wash away the stench of his own creepy history with the guy he once called a terrific guy who liked him young. Yeah. You remember that gem of a quote, don't you? The one that makes your skin crawl every time it bubbles back up like a bad burrito. Let's break this down like we're gossiping over coffee at the diner, because this isn't some dry courtroom drama. It's a full-blown soap opera where the villain's trying to rewrite the script mid-season to make himself look like the whistleblower instead of the walking conflict of interest he is. And I'm here cackling at the hypocrisy because the orange tyrant spent years stonewalling any real probe into Epstein's web while his cronies whispered about deep state cover-ups. But now that he's got the power trip of a second term under his belt, suddenly it's transparency time. Filing motions left and right in Manhattan federal court to unseal those grand jury materials from the 2019 sex trafficking indictments that never even made it to trial because Epstein conveniently hanged himself in his cell like a plot twist straight out of a bad thriller. And get this, the Dodge's back at it again, just yesterday on November 24th, with Bondi begging judges Richard Berman and Paul Engelmayer to flip the switch and release everything from call logs to victim letters and those damning PowerPoint exhibits that laid out the whole sordid operation. Citing that shiny new law he signed as the magic wand that overrides all the secrecy rules, demanding an expedited ruling because Congress said spill it within 30 days or else. But oh please. We all know this is just a smokescreen to bury his own ass under an avalanche of distractions about Democrats and Clinton ties, while his name floats around in the unsealed docs like a ghost that won't stay dead. I swear to God, if I had to pick one word to describe this farce, it'd be deflection, pure and simple. Because why the hell is the orange tyrant so hell-bent on cracking open these files now, after years of his base howling for them without him lifting a finger? Unless it's because that Wall Street Journal dropped a bomb back in July about some racy letter he sent Epstein decades ago, all flirty and familiar, which he of course denied faster than you can say non-disclosure agreement. But boom, suddenly he's all in on the release train, directing Bondi to file that motion on July 18th for the New York and Florida grand jury transcripts, only to get slapped down by judges who said hell no, those records are sealed for a reason, and the public's already got 100,000 pages of Epstein filth to sift through without adding 70 more that won't change a damn thing about the big fish who skated free. Laughable, right? Utterly laughable, because this guy's administration tried the same stunt in summer, got rejected flat out by 3 federal judges who weren't buying the public interest bullshit when it smelled like political theater. And now with this renewed push on the 21st and 24th. They're waving the new act like a get-out-of-jail-free card, arguing it supersedes everything and forces the release, unless it's gonna screw victims or national security. But come on, who are they kidding? This is about weaponizing the files to roast his enemies, while his own Epstein bromance gets a quiet edit in the margins. You know what pisses me off the most about this whole circus, though, is how the orange tyrant acts like he's the savior dragging skeletons out of the closet when he's got a walk-in wardrobe full of his own rattling around. Remember how he banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago after some alleged incident with an underage girl, or how he bragged about knowing him for 15 years and liking beautiful women, on, like that's not a red flag parade, and now here he is. Pushing for every grand jury minute from those 2005 and 2007 Florida probes to the 2019 New York nightmare to come pouring out, potentially naming names that could loop right back to his circle of sleazy billionaire pals who thought private jets and island getaways came with zero consequences. I'm yelling now because it's infuriating, this selective amnesia where he demands the dam bursts on everyone else's secrets, but cries foul the second his own flight logs or party invites surface, and his MAGA minions lap it up like it's holy water. Chanting about draining the swamp when all he's doing is flooding it with more mud to obscure his footprints, especially after the FBI said back in the summer there's no evidence linking Epstein's ring to that laundry list of high-powered associates his fans keep dreaming up. Which probably includes half his cabinet, if we're being honest. And don't even get me started on Ghislaine Maxwell rotting away for 20 years on those co-conspirator charges. Her trial transcripts already out there painting a picture of recruitment and rape that makes your stomach turn. But the orange tyrant wants more, oh yes. The full grand jury stash to supposedly expose the hoax he ranted about just days before signing the act, shifting gears faster than a politician caught with their hand in the cookie jar. Because nothing says accountability like a law that lets him redact whatever doesn't suit his narrative. Protecting victims my ass, when it's really about shielding the tyrant's tender ego from the blowback of his own past indiscretions. It's a goddamn masterclass in manipulation, folks. This push that's got the courts in New York and Florida scrambling, while Bondi and her deputy Todd Blanche hold pressers, like they're unveiling the cure for cancer, instead of a potential Pandora's box of elite depravity that might just bite their boss in the ass harder than they think. And I for one am glued to my seat waiting for the other shoe to drop, because if history's taught us anything, it's that the orange tyrant never does anything without an angle, and this angle's got self-preservation stamped all over it in big bold letters. But here's